Formula One likes to tell a simple story. That speed comes from power. That dominance comes from engines. And that fairness comes from rules. But the most powerful advantage in Formula One history was never banned, never outlawed, and barely spoken about. It didn't look fast. It didn't sound revolutionary. And fans almost never noticed it. Yet teams feared it more than horsepower, more than aerodynamics, more than any single driver. Because once one team mastered it, everyone else was already too late. This is the story of the advantage Formula One never banned, and why it quietly decided championships. When fans talk about dominant Formula One cars, they talk about lap times. They talk about top speed, horsepower figures, straight-line performance. But engineers inside Formula One know something most fans don't. Pure speed almost never wins championships, because Formula One isn't a sprint. It's a system. A system of tires, fuel, airflow, reliability, driver fatigue, pit windows, dirty air, track evolution, and race management. And in that system, the fastest car is often the wrong car. History proves this again and again. The most dominant teams weren't the fastest everywhere. They were predictable everywhere. The advantage wasn't power. It wasn't downforce. It wasn't even reliability. It was control. Specifically, control over tire behavior. In Formula One, tires are the most sensitive component on the car. They decide how hard you can push, how long a stint lasts, how aggressive a strategy can be, and whether a race is won or lost in silence. Some cars heat tires too quickly. Some never bring them into the window. Some destroy them under pressure. But a few rare cars across different eras did something extraordinary. They treated tires gently without being slow, and that changed everything. Formula One bans visible advantages: active suspension, fan cars, ground effect extremes, trick fuel systems. But tire management, that lives in the gray zone, because it's not one part, it's not one rule, it's not one trick, it's the sum of everything. Weight distribution, suspension, geometry, chassis stiffness, aero balance, brake temperature control, differential behavior. To ban it, F1 would have to admit something uncomfortable. That dominance doesn't come from cheating. It comes from understanding the system better than everyone else. So instead of banning it, they chase symptoms, change compounds, change formats, change aero rules. But the advantage survives. Look at the most dominant eras in modern Formula One. Ferrari in the early 2000s, Red Bull in the early 2010s, Mercedes in the hybrid era. Different engines, different regulations, different drivers, same pattern. Their cars could push longer into a stint, attack without overheating tires, defend without degradation collapse. While rivals had speed, they had freedom. Freedom to choose strategy, freedom to respond mid-race, freedom to control pace. That's why dominance often looked boring. Not because the car was untouchable, but because the race was decided quietly, 5 laps earlier than anyone realized. Here's the cruel part. Once a team realizes they're losing on tire behavior, it's already too late. You can add power mid-season, you can bolt on aero upgrades, you can gamble with strategy, but tire control is baked into the car's DNA. Fixing it requires new suspension philosophy, new chassis concepts, new aerodynamic balance, and often a new car entirely. That's why midfield teams sometimes look fast in qualifying, then collapse on Sundays. They built cars to impress stopwatches, not to survive races. This advantage doesn't sell highlights. It doesn't produce dramatic overtakes. It doesn't create viral moments. It creates inevitability. And inevitability is dangerous for entertainment. So Formula One markets speed. They market aggression. They market drivers. But the sport is often decided elsewhere, in simulations, tire data, thermal models, and balance sheets. The scariest part, this advantage still exists today, and it will decide future championships, long before fans notice anything is wrong. Formula One will keep changing rules. They'll keep promising closer racing. They'll keep chasing excitement. But unless they confront the advantage they never banned, dominance will always return, not with noise, not with controversy, but with quiet control. Because in Formula One, the most dangerous car isn't the fastest one. It's the one that never looks like it's trying. Most people think dominance comes from speed. Engineers know it comes from control.